Okay, I've got a video I'm going to do with my new windscreen pot stand that I used on a previous video for my wood gas stove. I'm going to use this in conjunction with my alcohol stoves, and I'm going to try it on these three real quick. This is a atomic stove from Mini Bowl Designs, and this is the carbon felt version. There's tiny pieces of carbon felt in here, and this one, Trangia stove, and this one is from end-to-end supply, end-to-end trail supply, and this is their stove, side burner. This will come out the top, this will come out the top, but I didn't know how this would work. It's kind of big, but it's going to be a test. So, and I brought out a tiny pot, one of them, just got two holes there for letting out the steam, but I'm also going to put in my probe for measuring, which we'll get to. And I've got a small pot, something I thought would fit on here really nice. It's the S-bit, which it comes with its own stand, but I'm just going to use the pot. So that'll be that. So these three stoves with those two pots, and I've got 4 ounces of alcohol, measuring cup, and I'm going to measure the temperature with my digital thermometer, but I also have a regular candy thermometer that was not measuring properly, so I'm going to calibrate it to this. And that's pretty much it. I brought my toolbox out. It's got some stuff that the heat, the fuel that I'm using, and my matches. So I'm going to get this set up. First one's going to be the atomic with the honey pot. We'll do a boil test. Just going to put in 16 ounces of water. Okay, I've got 1 ounce in the atomic stove. I just have this on here. I don't need it as a flash pan or anything, but I have some fluid on the wick, so I just put it there. I'm going to light it up. The water's at 70 degrees, and here we go. It's kind of hard to see, but it's lit. Go ahead and put this on. Alright, I think it went out. All the fluid that's locked up in the wick in the carbon felt, so I'm going to add some more. Usually I just can rotate it and it will come out, but it's locked up in there. Okay. Let's see if we can see. Just leave it right there. Okay, gotta rotate it because the wind is coming kind of from the southeast. It is kind of windy out here. Okay, hold on. Okay, I just lit the atomic and waiting for it to blossom. I'm going to go ahead and put the water on. Water is sitting at 70 right now. And remember, I have 1 ounce of fuel, and I just wanted to keep everything equal amongst the 3 stoves. Now this container will hold 24 ounces roughly, and I've only got 16, and I've got it basically up to about right there. And my point was with that is that this pot only holds, it's marked on the inside, 16 ounces, and so I'm comparing both of these just because I want to see which pot works better, because this obviously is a bigger bottom than this one. So that was my marks. So okay, this looks like it's running now. This timer doesn't count up or down, it just has a, you set it and then it will count down, but it won't do it automatically. So I'm not really timing, I'm just seeing which one works the best on here. Normally I would like to be able to time it, but I don't know how to do it with this one. If you hit start, it just counts down, so I don't really want it to do that. And that's kind of useless for me. I either need it to count up, or if it does count down, then I'd have to like set it and write the time down, and you know, it's really kind of pointless. So right now we're at 97. Anyways, I'm going to shoot these all the way through, and you can see how they operate, and then you'll see basically how much time based on the video. So that's another way to measure it. But as the wind turns, I'm going to be able to rotate this now until it gets so hot that I can't handle it. I'm still going to work on a way to rotate this while it's in operation. And normally with this combination of the Heine pot and the atomic, I would use like what do you call that stuff? Like the chicken wire type pot stand, or I mean, there's all kinds of different things you can use, I guess. But this is going to be a lot better, I think. Now, I guess if you're backpacking, this wouldn't be an ideal situation since it takes up a lot of space, but this is just for testing for me. We're at 109. I'm going to go ahead and put this candy thermometer in just to check the temperature and see what it's going to be saying. 115 now. We're at 105 on the temperature on that one. 110. Approaching 110, now 110. Or at 120 on the other one. Hey, it's the big fat cat. Come here, kitty. What are you doing? You flying the coop tonight? Come here. What are you up to? Say hi to the people on YouTube. Come here. Are you gonna go be an alley cat tonight? See what the boys are up to? Or girls? I think that's a yes. Okay, I gotta get back to work. You go have fun. We're at 120 on here and 130 on here. Something's going on with this one. Well, about 125. It's about 5 degrees off. I don't know why. Other than the needle got bumped, maybe. Because this is supposed to be super accurate. Well, it's good to know anyways now. 133 on here. It's actually a little... This is one... It's about almost 7 or 8 degrees actually. That says 135 and this one's just approaching 130. Whatever it is proportional. It's about 5 or 6 degrees off. Well, what you gonna do? You can't see the pattern, but that was something I wish I could see how the atomic looked. I just wanted to know, because I can kind of tell by the pattern how close it is. But it's too bright out right now. You can't really see. The atomic has a nice pattern. It works really good with the honey pot. We're at 146. Our goal is 212. Now we're at 147. Now I don't have anything on the side of here. Normally on one of my pots I have a 16th of an inch fiberglass wick wound on here, which will help insulate a little bit from your hand and also from the wind. So my boil times are going to change, I think, because of that. Normally I do this indoors. in a well ventilated area. And the wind is blowing significantly more than it usually is at this time. I don't know if you can see the clouds moving. There's the moon. Where's the moon? Oh, just getting covered up, but it's over there. Yeah, there it is. You can kind of see the clouds. It's moving from the beach pretty good. Alright, we're at 158. I think this is working pretty good. It's a lot of oxygen in, a lot of the heat to come out. This is registering 150, and this is registering, now it's 10 degrees off. Take this out. I've seen better boil times, but I mean, like I said, I've been indoors. Oh look, the cat's chasing birds. It was a pitiful run. So big that he can't even run fast. Anyway, so 163, this is taking a little bit. I'm actually going to turn the camera off and wait for it to come up. I don't want to waste my battery anymore because I have a lot more to do out here, so. Alright, we're at 192. I had to stop and fill up the stove again, so, or actually just once, but again from the first time, because you know it's not doing too good out here with the wind, and though I had a 70-degree water temperature, it is a little bit colder out. You got some weather blowing in. And the wind is shifting around a little bit. But this is how you learn, so normally it'd be more easier inside, a little more controlled, but this is kind of a little more of a challenge. We're at 201. Let's see if I can get them both in. Yeah. Don't want anybody seeing the time. It's not. I'm not using that, so I just shut that off. Yeah, this is just a timer for the kitchen and stuff, so setting the time and having it count down for baking and stuff probably is, or I don't know what you would need the temperature for that, but you know, for making candy maybe, I don't know. 207. $208. We have 209. 210. 211. 212. Planes are coming in again. I have a feeling that the stove went out. It's getting ready to pucker out at 2:11. What's going on here, guys? I hear it moving. I think it's what happens usually with the kitty. What happens with these with the carbon felt is it's trapped in there. Yeah, see, it's at 210 now. But anyways, we basically had water boiling. You have like vaporized fuel caught in the material, and it's just kind of popping now. All right, well, this was a semi-success. Obviously, the stove works. It works in there, but you know, I have to work out some of the kinks. Alright, so now we're on to the next. Okay, now we have the Trangia. I'm going to try it. This was an idea I got from Hiram. It makes kind of a nice pot stand. This pot's a little on the small side, but normally you would just do that. And it's like a tripod arrangement, but we're not using that today. I just wanted to show that off. I actually have a video up to it that I do that with. Okay. We have water sitting 16 ounces in the S-bed, sitting at 69 degrees. The stove is lit. Wait for that to come up. I just put some fuel in. I'm not measuring the fuel off. And now this stove is a little bit bigger, and I'm not going to drill a hole in this, so it's just going to sit like that. So it's not as efficient, but for our purposes, I think that'll work. Now, I think it's pretty close. It should work. It looks like some of the, because it sits a little higher, the wind is coming in between the top of the pot stand and right here. But I mean, there's nothing to say you can't use it with a windscreen also on top of it. This is a great stove. I like this stove. It's one of my favorites. It's got a nice pattern covering the whole bottom. We're at 83 degrees. 85 now. And I'll bring it back. I'm not gonna shoot this all the way through. I'm losing battery. I gotta get some batteries, and then I'll come back when it boils. Look at this cat. He's just sitting there on the lawn. Just chilling out. He don't care about nothing. If he could, he'd stay outside all day. Luckily, he only goes one house over the other way. I don't want nothing to happen to him. There's the alley behind us and busy street in front. So far he's been alright. I found him actually in the street. As him and his two sisters. They were probably a week or two old. They were huddled together in like a little ball, trying to stay warm, and I rescued them. His two sisters are with another person that we know up in Washington, I guess. Wind's blowing pretty good. You can see, look how red hot it's getting. This is a really hot stove. We're at 198 right now. 199. It's pretty amazing. It's turning this red. Very nice stove. So far this is working out the best, but I only did two, so. $2.05. Let's see if I can get them both in. $2.09. I didn't measure the fuel, but this nice thing about this stove is you can just put the cap on it, so it doesn't really matter. That's why I didn't measure it. $2.11. Yeah, let's do that. Any second. This is a great pot too. 16 ounces, perfect amount of water to boil. That's it. Okay, so that's that stove. So let me turn this off and we'll reset and pick another one. Okay, I just left this stove. This is a side burner, so it's blossoming right now. The water's at 72 because I've been using this pot. I'm going to set the water on. I got a little bit bigger pattern, and I've got this turned so because the wind's coming from this direction. I'll keep that right there. Push that out. And I just put in a certain amount of fuel in, not a lot. Let's see how much closer this one is. And since it's a side burner, I don't think it matters. I originally thought that I would test the different pots. I can't do it all today, and I probably won't switch the different pots back and forth. I don't think it really matters now that I've seen that. I'm really just testing the windscreen and how it operates with 3 of my favorite stoves, and it doesn't really matter which pot I'm using. They had the same amount of water in both times, and this is a thinner pot. It's made out of aluminum. This is a little bit thicker, but it is still made out of aluminum. And though I think I'd get a really good boil time with this and the other stove right here, the Trangia, the real hot stove. Okay, just changed the batteries. Hopefully these are better. I What was I saying? That doesn't matter, I guess. Anyway, so this outer ring is really getting a lot of abuse. I noticed this stove is sagging a little bit from the weight of the water. I mean, the hot stand, sorry. And it's probably over time. I mean, it's not getting to the point where it's softening the metal. I don't think it'll do that, but it's distorting it, definitely. This is another warm, hot stove. It's definitely turning this red, you can see. But when I had this on with my wood gas stove, I didn't see that at all, which I thought I would. Pull this a little bit off center, just a little bit. I'm worried that these are gonna get, you can see that it's hitting the side of this can, tuna can, and it's coming up and it's kind of licking this a little bit. So yeah, this is a little more wild because these flames come out so far that they're actually hitting the can and they're actually hitting the side of the pot versus just coming up under it. This may not have been the best choice. I've got a ton of ones that I made. I'll probably mess with those. All different styles. Ones that I've seen on Zen stoves. Ones that I've just come up with on my own. We're at 160. Anyway, this is a nice pot. Nice stove. This has an O-ring in it, and it has a nice threads. And right now there's fluid in it, leftover fuel. And this has what I use to snuff it out. I just drop it on there and it puts it out, and then I put the lid on. But you don't want to use the lid because the lid has a nice O-ring in here, and it will mess the ring up. So you can use this to adjust the flame, and this is written in, looks like, it says Octune, I don't know, I can't really read it. German, I guess. This is written. Okay, well, on to the second set of batteries. I think this stove just ran out of fluid, and it's at 194. I should have probably measured it and put more in, and I need to get more fluid, so what to do. Let me get another bottle of heat. Okay, I just put more fuel in. I neglected to say today's Friday the 13th, so maybe this is why I'm having so many issues. Let's see if I can light this with this. Probably not. Thought maybe I'd try it. I don't want to get any closer. There we go. Well, that kind of worked out. Okay. Oh, look who woke up. Put this back on. We shall resume. I mean, I know it's going to boil. It's just when. Wait for it to blossom. There it goes. This stove doesn't come with a wick on the side, priming wick, but I added one just because I thought it needed it. I mean, I used to have a hard time lighting it. Here's the other bottle. It's weird. It's like bowed out. think we might get a little rain or something. Look at how that's just coming in all of a sudden. I might stop out here. Got the weather coming in and planes are with it. You can see how fast those clouds are moving. Actually quite nice. Goes nice next to this. It's been about 55, 56 at night here. With the mid 70s, early mid, like maybe like anywhere from 70 to 75 over the last several weeks. We've had a couple hot days. You can see this has two rows of jets, and they're just pumping out you can see them. $1.99. When I started building alcohol stoves, the one thing that I had the most difficulty dealing with was making the stands. And this was just something that I happened to think of, but originally it was designed for a wood gas stove. 208, and I don't know, it seems kind of cool. It won't work with everything, obviously. 210. 211. Okay, so that is end-to-end trails stove. So now I'm going to probably do a test with this one next, and the Trangia. I know I wasn't going to, but I'm curious now to see. All right. Okay, here's Trangia. Just loaded it up with fuel. Let's light it. And it's lit. Cover it up. Wait till it blossoms. We have water sitting at 68 degrees, but I did not measure the water. I just filled it up to about right here. I know it's going to boil it, so. This is a really great idea that I came up with. I'm sure I'm not the first, but just put, different stuff in here. I take it in and out of the house, and I'm going to make a first aid kit, add one, keep it in the truck, and I'm going to put my wood gas and my alcohol stove tools, custom tools, things that I specifically use for making stoves. Probably make one of these each for those, and then I can take them back and forth to the garage or wherever I'm going to be building stoves. Alright, so this going, we'll turn it on right when it boils, and then that will be the last of this video for now. Boy, I'm going to have some editing. Alright. Okay, it's a little bit darker now. You can see the moon now. Really good. And I'm at 170, 169, 170, yeah. You can see, I just wanted to show you guys how red that this pewter fan metal is getting. The wind is still died down a little bit, but it's still kind of moving. 176. And 181. I even have, oh sorry, canned heat, power heat it's called, gelled alcohol. I thought maybe, I don't know, it's really big, but just wanted to see what it would do. But I'm not going to probably end up doing anything with it. I'm just going to test it myself. We're at 190. It's getting darker by the second. Can't see him, he's in the clouds. Okay, when this spoils, I'll turn the camera back on. 208. 209. 210. 211. We have a boil coming up here. Okay, take this out. I use a rolling boil. That's a lot of water too. It's really weird color because I got it out of the hose, and I don't use these to drink or cook with or anything. I just use it for testing. Alright, this is the end of the video. I will catch you guys on the next one.